This is Chunk Yanille. I spent 1,000 hours completing every possible task in Yanille, but now I'm exploring the world one chunk at a time. I have to complete all tasks in an area before moving on to the next, and sometimes that means spending hundreds of hours grinding until I'm free. Now it's time to randomly pick a new chunk, and my fate is in the hands of RNG, so let's see where this journey takes us next. Hello there, welcome, and I hope you're as excited as I am because the saga of Chunk Yanille is about to enter a brand new chapter. We are just moments away from rolling a new chunk. What adventures and challenges might these new areas hold? Well, I have no idea yet, but anything is gonna feel amazing after having spent over 300 hours last episode standing at this tree, fletching to the ridiculously high level of 87, aka making over 80,000 willow longbows. But the thing that made that grind all worth it, the thing that makes me so excited to see where we're going next, was getting insanely lucky and finding my first ever real ranged weapon. Just a basic short bow, all from painstakingly juggling clue scrolls over the last month or two. Now that I've officially unlocked the range skill, I feel like I could take on anything, and I'm ready to go on a brand new adventure wherever the RNG takes me. Before we jump into the chunk roll, I just wanted to bring up this image. Last episode, I went chunk by chunk, really going into detail about what each possible roll could mean for the account, but the TLDR is, I really want to roll toward any chunk on this map with a star, and I really don't want to roll toward any chunk with a skull. A lot of those represent a death chunk. But in most cases, the order in which I roll these might change that. Like rolling Sears Village before the Argoin Death chunk, or the Ranging Guild before a long PVM chunk could cut the scary grinds down to something much more manageable. Anyway, I'll be updating this graphic as we roll to make it as easy as possible to see where the good and bad chunks are. Now, no more stalling, let's hop over to the chunk roll stream. Here we go. It's time. It is time. Pick chunk. Let's do this. Attention. What's it gonna be, please? 6. Yo! Yo! Let's go! Yes, dude! Yes! 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 We got one of the star chunks! Oh, yes, baby! That's right, we rolled the Ranging Guild chunk, one of my top chunks to get, making the chunk map now look like this. This chunk does have the ranging skill cape in it, but with my no skill capes rule established in episode 1, this chunk is pure upside for me. Oh, I am so excited, you guys. Yes, Ranging Guild unlocked. Now, I have something to say. I'm never gonna use this terrible short bow ever, but I'm convinced if I hadn't gotten the bow from the clue, I would not have gotten this chunk. For sure, right? For sure. It was the universe foreshadowing this roll. So we head to Sorcerer's Tower, go through the right portal, stand right on the border of the chunk. Chunk equals unlocked. Ranging Guild, let's go. Here we are. I'm sure there's tons to discover out here, but first things first, I want to check out what's in the Ranging Guild. I wonder if this many people have been in the Range Guild recently. Man, there is so much to do here. I didn't bring like any of the stuff that I actually need to bring, but let's investigate some of this stuff. Oh, look at this shop. All of this is such an insanely massive upgrade. This makes so many things possible. This is upgrades on upgrades on upgrades. We got rune arrows. I guess my best bow is a willow short bow, which isn't that good, but that's okay. That's fine. That's honestly fine. Oh, there's a shield, the shield master, right? How could I forget the shield master? What's with all the shields? I think this guy gives me a flyer. Yeah, there you go. So this might not look like it, but this is actually the key to this chunk. There is one grind here that we'll get back to in a sec, and this flyer is gonna help us complete it. Also, before I get too far in, I don't usually share much about my video making process, but I gotta tell you, this video has been a blast to make. A lot of you know that I put a lot of time and energy into making my videos high quality, and it just got way easier because of this insanely cool PC that today's sponsor, Ironside Computers, sent to me. If you haven't heard of Ironside, they're a pre-built PC company that makes some of the most unique looking PCs that perform just as well as they look. They sent me this incredible stained glass Eldritch-inspired case that I love, and it's just one of their many beautiful designs. I've never gotten a pre-built PC before, so I wasn't sure what to expect, but I was pleasantly surprised at the attention to detail and precaution taken to make sure it showed up in perfect working condition. For me, this is a huge improvement to my editing setup, but whether you use it for content, gaming, or you just need to open up like 10 different windows of OSRS, Ironside gives you the ability to customize your PC exactly to your needs. One last thing. Ironside is giving away one of their new limited edition PCs, Eden's Veil, with an i7 1407KF and an RTX 480 Super. Not only could you win a brand new top tier PC, but the winner also gets an Eden's Veil themed 60% keyboard, a matching mousepad, and a t-shirt to complete the setup. To enter the giveaway, follow the link on screen. It'll also be in the description and pinned in the comments. Good luck, and a big shout out to Ironside Computers for sponsoring this video. Oh, I can also buy throne axes. Singular rune throne axe is like 600 coins. That is insane. Oh, there's one more thing I've been looking forward to from here. Let's see, where is it? The leather worker, aka the tanner. I can actually tan hides into craftable leather now. Wait, he doesn't even have like a trade option? No, wait, there's no way. Do I have to go through this whole dialogue? Or does he not actually do it? I do assume there is a way to actually get this guy to tan leather for us, so we'll have to come back with some cowhides to actually see that working. But unfortunately, this isn't actually that big of an upgrade because to craft leather armor, you need a needle, which I have, and thread, which I don't have for some reason. I don't have any way to get thread, so this is not quite as impactful as it could be. The last big thing in here is this target shooting minigame, which I'm definitely gonna come back and test out later. But there's still something very important that we haven't talked about yet, which is the tasks for this chunk. The chunk we just rolled is not only the ranging guild, but also the small town of Heminster. I say town like that because I don't really know if these 4 buildings count as a town, but anyway, there are a few tasks outside of the guild as well as inside. The first task we completed just by stepping inside the ranging guild, which was a medium diary task requiring level 40 range, so that's already one checked off. There's another diary task to open up a chest in one of Heminster's 4 buildings, which requires level 47 thieving. I have a whole slew of tasks to acquire these new best in slot ranged upgrades, all of which can be bought inside the guild. There's also a craftable upgrade, the hard leather shield, which is another best in slot item. Remember the shield, it'll be important in a sec. Lastly, there is one task that might give us some trouble. A level 44 crafting requirement to attach steel studs to leather chaps. If you remember, my only consistent way to train crafting has been 5 XP at a time repairing the nets on the fishing trawler. So training crafting has been unbelievably slow to say the least. However, I do have a plan for this task, which I'll reveal in just a bit. I still haven't actually walked out of here and explored the town of Heminster, so let's see what we can find here before we just dive right into the tasks. We've got the fishing contest. What is that called? Fishing contest? Yep, so this is for a quest that we can't start right now, but it's not actually too far away, so maybe we could eventually do it. But until then, we can't get in this area. We've got this chest. I need lockpicks for this chest. Okay, well. And then we got some anvils. I love it when these houses are like on a slant. Like the anvil house in Yanille is also on a slant. And I think that's really funny. This trapdoor I covered in another video. I think this trapdoor may have actually been the impetus for that whole video because just why is there a trapdoor in the middle of a field? If you watch that video, you will find out that this leads you out of the Temple of Cove, which by the way, we now have access to, so that's another cool area. I definitely want to go explore in there, but first I need some stuff from my bank, so I'm gonna go grab that and be right back. Okay, I have returned and I've got a bunch of stuff, cowhides, money, a lockpick, and I am ready to explore. So if you don't know, this ladder takes us down to a well-known early RuneScape quest called the Temple of Cove. But something I've been very excited to do is go down these stairs into this room and slash this web. And in here are a very interesting item. The original graceful, it's not graceful obviously, but next best thing, the boots of lightness. They reduce my weight. I think most people know these because they're such a classic item, but my weight is reduced by 5? Wait, that's actually high-key good. Yeah, boots of lightness are actually a genuinely pretty big upgrade. Weighing less means my energy will be drained less while running, so I can run for further, which is usually not a luxury provided to Onechunk accounts. And this dungeon is also cool too. I can't get any further in it without starting the quest, which is not too far away. That's most of what's here, so I think we're gonna start doing some tasks now. Let's knock some stuff off the list. Step 1, we gotta search this chest for traps. Reminder that we're doing this because it's part of the Kandarin achievement diary. And there we go. We get 5 steel arrow tips, such a weird reward, but that is a chunk task complete. We're gonna pick up all those ranged upgrades in a sec, but first I wanna see something. Can we actually tan these hides? Does he do it, or is he just a pure faker? Or it's actually she. Okay, what necklace is she wearing? It's a very cinematic shot for this conversation. Can I help you? I see. It's a dialogue option. We don't just get that normal right-click trade option, but it looks like we can indeed tan hides here, which will be huge for the future. Right now, we're gonna make all these into hard leather, which I'm gonna need a little bit later when I reveal my plan for how we're gonna handle crafting. It's time to pick up a ton of upgrades. Give me all of this studded body, studded chaps, give me the coif. Give me the leather vambraces. Look at all of those upgrades. We are now range Yanille. Look at him with a bow. Oh, so good. And with the boots of lightness, man, this is a vibe. Willow, short bow. Big upgrade there. Once again, like I said, if I hadn't gotten the bow from the beginner clue, we just wouldn't have gotten this chunk. That's just how the rules of the universe work. Can also get a whole bunch of different arrows. You know, I have a whole bunch of arrows in my bank, so I should probably just fire those off first. Okay, before I test out my new range setup, there is something I've been wanting to do, something I've been saving for quite a long time, and that is all of these ring nests in my bank. I got all of these while I was doing woodcutting, and I didn't open up a single one of them. But to celebrate this new chunk, I definitely want to open them now. They're also a little bit more relevant than you might think. One of the ways that I can teleport within my area is a ring of dueling. It has an option to teleport me right here to Castle Wars, and I need emerald rings to enchant to make rings of dueling. So I'm gonna open these up and hope for lots of emerald rings. Okay, sapphire's not bad. Let's get an emerald. Let's see some emerald rings. No emerald yet. Okay, this is pretty bad. You got a diamond ring. That is also bad. Okay, no emerald. That's bad. And we will see the final total. 21, I'm gonna be real, 21 is a lot of emerald rings. That's a lot of teleports to Castle Wars. Oh, also while we're here, quick reminder that I did indeed end last episode with 28 beginner clues on the ground waiting to be done. The only thing holding me back is a spade. I need a spade before I can do most of these clues, but I am still juggling them in the meantime. By the way, I have a huge goal of hitting 100,000 subscribers. It would mean a lot to me if you hit that subscribe button. Plus, a lot of people watch without realizing they're not subscribed, so maybe just double check. Thanks. Okay, I'm finally back with some arrows, and I just noticed that there are genuinely so many chickens out here. If I ever need feathers in the future, I'm basically set for life with feathers on these chickens. Also, wait, what the? Look at this. It's multi-combat right here, but not right here. Wow, this is super weird. Why is that? So if I stand here, I can just tag every chicken, just have them all run right over to me. That's actually amazing. Oh, and I also wanted to pick up a rune thrown axe, mostly because I now finally have my first weapon with a special attack. So funny, but it is true. It is real. Let's see if I can get these chickens together with my special. Does it work? Boom. Okay, totally didn't work. All right, well, doesn't matter. Special attack, weapon unlocked. Okay, so we've completed almost all the tasks here already. It won't be long until we're done here entirely. I want to show you my plan to deal with this crafting task and wrap up the chunk, but first, you know I couldn't come to such a classic old school area without a handful of good old fun facts. So here are some fun ranging guild / Heminster or whatever facts. If you're a fan of the Ranging Guild, you may have noticed that I skipped over one of its most unique features, the shooting range minigame. This set of targets is an interesting way to train range and potentially win some prizes along the way. But the way the minigame works isn't immediately obvious. You pay 200 coins for 10 shots at the target, and you get points for how close to the bullseye you are. But what determines how well you shoot? Well, this is old content, so imagine my surprise when I discovered there's an incredibly well-documented page on the wiki explaining exactly how the target works, scaling with your effective ranged accuracy. Now, if you're not a big DPS theory crafter, this is sort of an obscure component of calculating range damage output, so this might not be what you expect. First of all, the competition judge gives you 10 bronze arrows that you have to use for the minigame, so the type of arrow is immediately off the table. Accuracy is the #1 stat here, so this is one of the few times that a longbow is actually superior, and the accurate attack style is the best to use here. Also, prayers, potions, and the Void Knight armor set all do work here. Anyway, it was really interesting learning about this minigame, and I expect I'll return to it at some point in the future. Also, you may be looking at these rewards and wondering why I'm not required to get this green dragon hide body. Well, this is pretty well known, but the green D'hide body has the same requirements as the rune plate body to be equipped. They both need Dragon Slayer completed, which is a quest I won't be doing for a very long time. This thieving chest in Heminster that I just opened for a diary task has a funny quirk. You see, the task is in the Kandarin area and says, steal from the chest in Heminster. But it can actually be completed in Relica, as you can see my friend Jepperite discover here.
Wait, that's a medium Kandarin task? I'm not in Kandarin? Oh my god, it's the same chest. They just reused the same chest.
Yep, the chest is literally just copy-pasted to Relica, and for some reason, also the Mourner headquarters in West Ardoin. Stealing from any of these chests will complete the diary task, which I just think is hilarious. Okay, last one. Going back to the shooting range minigame, RuneScape almost had something like this very early on into the history of the game, and in a totally different area. For a very brief period of time in RuneScape Classic, targets almost identical to the ones in the shooting range were found in Varrock. They most likely worked like the dummies that you can get a few attack levels on, providing a chance to train your combat skills without actually fighting anything. It's not entirely clear why they were removed, but it's cool to see that they hung onto the concept and brought it back with the Ranging Guild a few years later. I don't think this counts as a fun fact, but whose bedroom is this? I've never seen this room before in my life. I had no clue this was here. Whose bed is that? Who lives here? What's going on? Distinctly feminine. Yeah, there's not a single woman in this entire area. Show me one woman. Who lives there? Is that Morris's bed? Morris? Buddy, do you have a distinctly feminine bed? I wouldn't judge you if you do. Okay, now that I've satisfied your hunger for fun facts, let's talk about how we're gonna complete this chunk task. It's actually a very simple task. Attach steel studs, which I can make with smithing, to leather chaps, which I can buy for almost nothing. The problem is the level required. 44 crafting isn't a very high level, but crafting is one of my hardest skills to train. I've known this for a while, but I've not only known that. I've also been aware of this particular chunk task ever since I rolled the Sorcerer's Tower, and how it might be an issue. That's why, last episode, behind the scenes, I was quietly working on crafting while doing my fletching grind, and from a combination of random event gems and XP lamps, I got all the way to level 42 crafting, just in case I rolled the Ranging Guild. The fact that I actually rolled this specific chunk is just pure luck. So what's the plan then? Well, the plan is to get to level 43 crafting. At that level, I can cut all these diamonds I've been saving up since the literal beginning of the account to get to 44 immediately. The challenge here is getting from 42 to 43, and that's where this flyer comes into play. How many of you watching have ever made a hard leather shield? I'm guessing not many, but thanks to this flyer, we know all it takes is 2 hard leather, an oak shield, and 15 bronze nails. This is the one and only way that I can actually capitalize on my newfound access to leather tanning. And it gives 70 crafting XP, a much better method of training than repairing nets on the trawler. The only thing we need now is a handful of bronze bars, so I'm gonna head to the wizards to gather a few fire runes so I can superheat the bars needed.
Hey Josh.
Hey.
This is finally gonna be a chance to test out what my new range setup really feels like.
Wait, this is actually so good. I have wished for ranged in this grind for so long. Having real ranged gear is such a weird feeling. Like 300 hours of fletching for no material gain besides the chunk task. And the game was like, yeah, okay, you can have the ranging guild. You can have all the bows and arrows and fletching you ever would want. I feel like there's something very poetic about that. Dude, 3-tick attack is so fast. You just need like 200 fire runes and then we're good to go. I really haven't thought about how convoluted what we're doing right now is. We are killing wizards to get fire runes, to superheat bronze bars, to make bronze nails, to make hard leather shields, to level crafting, to cut diamonds to level crafting even more, to be able to attach studs to leather chaps.
Plan has changed. We're going to the wizard's tower and we're gonna kill the lesser demon because he drops lots and lots of fire runes and he's also really easy, really chill. Oh, this is just great. This is just great. Oh, let's go. Rune Medhelm on the second kill. That seems good. That's gonna pay for literally every arrow in my inventory. A 56 range, my first range level in like definitely a long time. Feels like the start of something new, definitely now that I have all of this ranged gear.
Here to see my dad. WTF? You are killing Dad. Sir.
He's been a bad demon.
Please.
He must go.
There we go. 60 fire runes. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. Grab out our fire runes, our nature runes, and we just superheat all of these. We only need 32 bronze bars to get enough crafting XP to complete this chunk task. Hopefully I did my math right. Okay, I know it's kind of like the whole thing that I just got the ranging guild, but the coif is one of the worst looking items in this game. I just can't, like, just that looks so much better. What were they thinking? How is this still how this looks? The last of the bronze bars become bronze nails and we can make some shields. So I think use hard leather, oak shield. Look at that, beautiful. That is quite the animation. Definitely working really well. This hard leather shield is indeed a best in slot item. It does give me a little bit of range attack bonus. And so that is another chunk task complete. So to recap on making your oak shields, hammer, nails, oak shield, hard leather, slap that together, 2 leathers per shield. I don't know why, even though the leathers look kind of like they would fit exactly on the shield, just sort of 1-to-1. And there it is, 43 crafting. I don't know why I had an accent there, but that is such an important level because we can now cut diamonds. And you know we have a lot of in the bank diamonds. So now we just get to cut these and sit back and relax. 107 XP every 2 seconds. This is gonna be the fastest level I've gotten in a long time. Alrighty, 44 crafting, we can make studded leather chaps, so let's go ahead and do that. For the record, these studs are just made by smithing 1 steel bar, and also this isn't actually an upgrade or anything. I could buy studded chaps in the ranging guild. In fact, I'm wearing them right now, so this is purely just for the chunk task. Okay, let's do this. Pick up some leather chaps, use steel stud on leather chaps, and boom, baby. There we go. Chunk task complete. Chunk complete. Let's roll again. Before we roll again, let's take a look at how the map has changed since last time. By rolling the Ranging Guild, we unlocked 3 new rollable chunks. To the north is McGrubber's Woods, a minor quest area with no current tasks. To the west is the Fishing Guild, which would unlock normal fishing for me, but it would also create a few pretty serious RNG grinds, fishing for the rare big shark, bass, and swordfish. To the south is the Ardoin Farm, which would officially unlock farming for me, and more importantly, unlock a spade, so I can finally do all of my 28 beginner clues. However, it does come with some pretty insane requirements, including 95 cooking and 85 farming. Though I think I would treat farming as a passive skill like some other chunkers do. We'll talk more about what that means if we actually roll it though. Oh, and one other thing. I totally neglected the fact that Chunk 8, which already has a gold star, also has a spade in it, making it even more desirable to roll. At this point, the thing I want the most is a spade, so this chunk is at the top of my list. It's time for the chunk roll. It is time for the roll. Which chunk? I'm hoping for 8. I just want to stop juggling these clues forever. It's so annoying. Okay. Pick chunk. Let's get another good one. Let's get another good one. Here we go. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Pick chunk. Where are we going next? Come on, somewhere good. Please, somewhere good. Please, somewhere good. Please, somewhere good. Okay, that's fine. It's not great, but it's okay. We just rolled the Legends Guild, making the chunk map look like this. Unlike the Ranging Guild, the Legends Guild requires a very long and complicated quest to access, one that I will almost surely never be able to complete, so this chunk doesn't mean quite as much. No new tasks, but we can definitely explore the area, so let's go ahead and do that. Actually, you know what? This chunk doesn't have any tasks per se, but it does actually mean some good stuff. So let's go check it out. Here we are at the border of the new chunk. I don't think I've run into this one accidentally, so let us unlock the new chunk. Let's do it. Legends Guild has been unlocked into the new chunk. Got a new music track, pretty sick. So yeah, this is the guild that I can't get into, but if you want to know more about it and the quest that is required, I recommend you check out this video by my friend Alien Food, where he does the entire thing without a guide, and it is genuinely so crazy and complicated. Search gate? What does that mean, search gate? This gate seems to be made of pure mithril. Okay. So the main big thing here about this chunk that's pretty cool is the fact that we actually have coal and iron rocks. I was not able to mine coal prior to this chunk, so now I can finally actually mine coal instead of having to get it from the dwarves. This is definitely a great chunk to have for future grinds. Right now, it doesn't mean a whole lot. Oh, you know what? There is one thing I haven't been able to get yet. I wish I brought my axe because we did unlock something else. Maple trees. That's another minor unlock, but an unlock nonetheless. Pretty cool to get. I'll chop these down at some point in the future.
With no tasks here, we're ready to roll again, but first let's quickly take a look at how this changed the chunk map. With the Legends Guild unlocked, we have 2 new rollable chunks. To the east is this? We call that corner content, aka there's absolutely nothing in this chunk, but it is technically rollable because of this tiny walkable corner. But to the south is a very interesting chunk, Witch Haven, a weird town that has become notorious amongst chunkers for containing hellhounds, a monster that basically drops nothing. Well, except for the insane 1 in 32,000 drop rate item, the Smoldering Stone. Is that a meme grind? Hard to say, but many have taken it on in the past. And in the present. If we find ourselves here, it may be the biggest challenge this account has ever faced. Also, we're inching ever closer to the death chunk that is East Ardoin, so things are getting a little dicey. Anyway, let's jump back in and see the roll.
Let's do it. Let's do this roll. Another chunk, let's roll it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, pick chunk. The number of bad chunks is increasing. Let's hope that doesn't mean we get a bad chunk. Okay, nice. Okay, that's actually a good chunk. That's actually pretty hype. Okay, very nice, very nice. No tasks immediately. It's a good chunk to have for the future. Let's go check it out.
We just rolled the Corsair Cove chunk, making our map look like this now. But before we go on, I want to clarify something. Corsair Cove is technically also corner content. That is, it's only rollable because tiny bits of it are accessible by foot. I wanted to make this differentiation because it's actually also accessible by boat. The charter ships in Port Khazard can take me here, but as per common one chunk rules, I don't roll chunks that are connected only via charter ship. But now that I've rolled the chunk, there's nothing stopping me from using the boat to explore the entire area. Okay, charter ship time. I've waited a long time to use these ships. I'm really excited. Let's sail down there. Although, how much does a boat ride cost? Okay, 600 GP, that's definitely not too bad.
And here we are in the new chunk. Let's unlock this. Chunk unlocked. Here we are in the Corsair area.
One of the major benefits of this chunk is the boat connection, giving me quick access to this area that is so far south. In a world where I do unlock my dream chunk, the one right next to this one, having the boat that goes back and forth will make it so much easier to get here and bank and stuff.
I have no idea what this throne is. I'm sure they added this recently in some quest, but this is something I have no idea about. It's a nice little peninsula though. Oh, is that a toe in the water I see? Look at these messed up water textures. It's awesome. Seagulls. Seagulls unlocked. Huge unlock. Another thing about this chunk that would be really nice in the future is this bank. I can't use it because it requires completion of the quest that's kind of associated with this whole area, the Corsair Curse quest. Yeah, he won't let me use the bank, but maybe someday. And yeah, that's basically all that there is here. Everything else to do in this area is pretty much in the other chunk. Although, check this out. Look at that. Take Spade. It's right there. That is the Spade we've been talking about this whole time. Ugh, I want it. I want that Spade.
But it's like part of the environment. Like you can't even telegrab it or anything.
Anyway, so that's the chunk. There are no tasks here, and yeah, we're ready to roll again. So back to the chunk picker.
All right, here we are. We don't really need an update on how that roll changed the map because it didn't change anything. No new chunks are rollable because we're literally at the very bottom southeast corner of the felled up area. Kind of crazy that we rolled this entire straight line down from Yanille to here. Whew, okay, every chunk we roll, I can just feel myself pushing my luck, but please, a good chunk would be so amazing. Let me get a good chunk after all of that fletching.
Here we go. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Let's see. My luck is gonna catch up to me eventually. I just know it. I just know it. Oh shit! Let's go! Wait, that's so. How is that so perfect? No way. No, that's so good. That's exactly what we wanted. What? Yes, dude. Oh, that is so good. Yep, we just unlocked the other Corsair chunk. The chunk I was literally just staring into longingly, and the chunk map now looks like this. There are so many good things about this roll, but it cannot be overstated just how lucky it was to roll the chunk with the charter ship first. This will save me the literal 3-minute plus walk from any bank all the way south to get to this chunk. Instead, I get to use a quick minigame teleport to the fishing trawler and take the boat to get back here in seconds. This couldn't have been more perfect. This literally could not have been more perfect. What? No way. Oh, yes. Yes. So good. We finally have the Spade. I've been talking about it for forever, and we finally get it. Unlocking the chunk. The chunk has been unlocked. Let's go. Please move away from the Spade. The Spade is mine. Yes, we finally have it. We finally have the Spade. Yes, yes, yes. Finally, 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 the Spade. This item solves an issue I've been dealing with dating back over 6 months. Ever since I got my first clue that said requires Spade, to the dozens of times I found myself looking at this image, taunted by a step that is so close and yet so far. I've been searching for this basic tool, an item that any other account could so easily get, but to me, it's the most exciting unlock imaginable right now. This thing opens up so many potential rewards, and I've got a stack of 28 clues just waiting to be converted into caskets. But before that, I think a little exploration is in order. It connects to our areas. Look, climb rocks. There's no disconnect here. We can just walk right through 1 agility, huge new method, 1 agility XP. There's so much to look at here. Up these stairs. What is up these stairs? Bronze scimitar, huge, huge. Cooked meat, free meat. Let's go. This side of the island is the big unlock. There's so much cool stuff over here. There's so many things. There's my first fishing spot. Of course, there's the hole we're gonna go in a sec, but you're never gonna believe it. He's back and and he brought friends. Random cabbage ×5. But the big thing, the huge, massive, mega thing for this chunk is this hole. Look at this. This cave. I'm gonna have to explore this whole cave later because there's so much in here, but this is the cave with Ogress warriors and shamans. These are super interesting monsters and were the original reason I was so excited to come to this chunk. They've got an insanely stacked drop table full of supplies and some big upgrades, and they're the source of most of the tasks in this chunk. Actually, before we go on, we should probably talk about what exactly are the tasks here because they're pretty sick. The Ogresses drop 3 very important items for me. The Rune Full Helm, a new best in slot helm, the Rune Battle Axe, my very first rune weapon, and the Shaman Mask, a unique item that only they drop. It doesn't have any useful stats, but it is a collection log slot. Hunting this item is going to be the main chunk task for this area as it has a 1 in 1,200 drop rate, and Ogresses have over 80 HP each, so it might be here for a while. And the last task is related to the Spade we just got. I can now go dig up the Clue Hunter Cloak, a unique item, so that counts as a task as well. Very much appropriate for what we're about to do. I want to keep exploring this cave, but I'm way too excited to turn in all my clues, so I'm going to do that first, although there is a tiny problem with that. Because I can only hold 1 beginner clue at a time, to turn in all 28 of these, I would need to run from here, Castle Wars, all the way to the Wizards Guild, Magic Guild, take the portal to Wizard's Tower, and dig at the spot. The problem is, how do I get back? So far, I've relied on the minigame teleport to get back to Castle Wars, but it has a 20-minute cooldown, meaning it would take almost 10 hours of waiting to turn in all of these clues. However, do you remember what I said earlier about the emerald rings that I got from all those bird nests? Each ring can be enchanted to give me 8 teleports back to Castle Wars with no cooldown. And all I need to enchant them is a cosmic rune. And you know what drops cosmic runes? Ogresses. I just need 1 drop of cosmic runes from them and I can finally turn in all these clues. Oh, I just realized this is the perfect chance to use my new range setup. Yanille has truly never looked better. And here we are, killing warriors. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, there are 2 types of ogresses, the warriors, which attack with melee, and the shamans, which attack with mage, and hit extremely hard, to be honest. And obviously that makes them much harder to safe spot, so I'll be killing mostly warriors. Ooh, uncut emerald, very nice. These gems are going to be hella useful in the future. This is by far the best monster I've ever unlocked on this account. Hands down, period, by a mile. Like, we're looking at hundreds or thousands of like every type of rune, lots of arrows, lots of alks. It could really be a whole new chunk Yanille from these things. runes right on cue. Let's go. That is beautiful. Now we have our cosmic runes and we can do all of our clues. We can grab out all these emerald rings and we're just gonna make a whole bunch of rings of dueling now. These are gonna be so helpful for me. 10 rings of dueling. So that is a whole lot of charges and it's time to do all of our clues. Let's just go one by one. Take these clues to the Wizard's Tower. Look at that. It doesn't say requires Spade. Finally, it doesn't say requires Spade. Oh, we have it. We have the stupid Spade to do this. Let's do this. Finally, oh God, this clue step has been haunting me for so long, and I finally get to actually do it. Dig. And we have found a new clue, and we can't do it, but that is fine. We are juggling clues, and that's just how that works. All the clues we have stacked on the ground count towards the total completed steps for any one clue. So we have tons of guaranteed beginner caskets. And that is 1 down, 27 to go. Let's do this. With 28 beginner clues, I'm thinking this is gonna be somewhere in the ballpark of 14 or 15 caskets. This could be a casket. Casket, let's go. First casket obtained. Gonna get a lot of those. This feels like a plan coming together in such a big way. Like stacking up all these beginner clues during fletching, stacking up all those ring nests for rings of dueling, and then the spade, the cosmic runes. It really is all coming together. Oh, that was a 1-step. Let's go. I don't know how many of those we're gonna get. Not a lot, but that is very nice. Oh, what the? It is a back-to-back. What are the odds of that happening? What? That is actually ridiculous. So it's now 29 clues. All right, so we have 5 clues left. And yeah, it's gonna be over. All the clues are gonna be gone. Oh, it's gonna be so good. This might be the final clue. We're gonna find out either the final clue or the second to last clue. All right, second to last, meaning we do indeed use up all of our beginner clues. This feels so good. There we go, the last beginner clue off the ground. Man, this is an era of the account I am so ready to be done with. Clue juggling just adds a layer of stress to playing the account where you're always afraid you're gonna like mess up and lose a ton of progress, but it is done now. We are finally able to turn in the last beginner clue. This is a guaranteed casket from my main man, Cedrador. Give me the casket. Thank you very much. And there we go, 12 beginner caskets. That is so good to see. 12 beginner caskets to open. That is a little bit less than I was hoping for, but I mean, that's RNG for you. 12 is still a lot. Okay, before we open these up, let's talk about what we want from these caskets. Because we rolled the ranged guild chunk, we no longer need any bows or ranged upgrades, but what we can get elemental staves. By opening 12 of these, there's a good chance we'll see at least a couple, at least one, I think. The elemental staff tier list goes, tier number 1, fire, for sure. So many spells that I've been casting require fire runes, high alchemy, superheat, be super useful to get. Below that, air staff for sure. Air is the most useful singular element, I think. Beyond that, water. There are a good handful of enemies that are now weak to water spells, so I think water would be pretty good. Probably better than earth, which would still be totally fine. There's some good earth spells. I think there are probably some uses for it. And then beyond that, there are a couple of rare items. I would love to get any of the uniques. I mean, I don't have any beginner clue uniques yet. I don't have any of the slippers, any of the sandwich lady. I would also love to get a rune scimitar ornament kit. That would be really cool. I think if I got one of these and then eventually did get that rune scimitar at the Arania altar, I would feel so sick. But probably on this log, the most useful thing would be either of these monk robe trim. Those would be really helpful for a prayer set down the line, and also this amulet of defense would be not too bad. So a lot of cool things we could get from these, but also a lot of bad things too. So we could get absolutely nothing. We could get everything we ever wanted. 12 caskets is kind of a lot. Let's do it. Let's start opening them up. Here we go. First casket. Okay, immediately right off the bat, Staff of Earth, let's go. The worst over the best. We still will absolutely take that. That is really, really, really helpful. Number 2. Oh, what the? And a collection log immediately. Well, we're off to a good start. Bare feet, dude. Oh, I got my bare feet on. What the? Wow, this is going exceptionally well. And if we didn't already have the leather van braces, those would have been an upgrade too, but we do. Well, that's amazing. This can only go downhill from here, right? That was the best possible way to start this. The bare feet, that's crazy. All right, what's next? What the hell? What is this luck? Another unique. What is happening? Sandwich Lady top, let's go. Dude, that looks so good. I'm just out here completing the entire beginner clue collection log against. Oh man, the RNG has really been favorable to me lately. Here we go. Steel battle axe, okay, that is not too useful. The short bow is back. A couple of chaos runes to go with it. Black warhammer, not an item I had before, okay. Another staff of earth, okay, that's a little bit rude. Getting nervous, we're not gonna see a good staff. Please show me a good staff. Earth runes and shrimps, that is not good. Yes, 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 that is good. That is what I wanted to see. Staff of air, let's go. Yes, that is what I wanted to see. Okay, well, this has been very successful. This has been very successful. The only thing that would make this better at this point is a staff of fire. So can we get it? Show me the staff of fire. Okay, steel plate legs, that is not staff of fire. Show me. No, oak shortboard, that would have been an upgrade. Okay. Oof, last casket. Before I open this last clue, let me just say that whatever is in here, I am so glad that this all came together. There was no guarantee that I would ever get a spade, honestly, let alone at the right time to cash in all of these clues. So regardless of what's in here, I consider myself super lucky. Last casket, here we go. Please, I'm begging, I'm praying. Staff of fire, come on. 3, 2, 1. Dude, I love beginner clues so much. They're so funny. This was still exceptionally good. Got 2 uniques. We got 2 staffs. We are happy for sure. We are happy. Definitely a couple of really good upgrades. Staff of Fire would have been a lot more game changing, but these staffs are huge for sure. Wow, this episode has been a huge step forward for the account. We rolled 4 new chunks, got a ton of upgrades at the Ranging Guild, got these clue rewards, unlocked a bunch of new resources, and we still haven't even gotten started on the chunk tasks here. And these may seem like small changes to you, but to me, it really does feel like a new era for Chunk Yanille. I can't wait to see where this journey takes us. For now, I've got some work to do in this new chunk, so if you need me, I'll be killing Ogresses. I can't wait to show you how amazing these things are for me, but that will have to wait till next time. Make sure you're subscribed if you want to be a part of this adventure, and until next time, bye-bye.